Hi everyone, Dr. Jeff back with Elixir this week, and we've got a cool topic this week. I'm going to show you some more exercise to do. This week we're going to talk about your abdominal core.
Yeah, so we're going to focus on the 4 muscles that make up your core. So you have your transverse abdominis that wraps all the way from the back to the front like a big belt. Then on top of that you have your internal obliques, which start an angle upwards like this. Then your external obliques are opposite, they start angling downwards like that. And then you have your rectus abdominis right on the top, which are like, they run down the top, which is what you see when you see a 6-pack. So that's like the little sections that you see right on the middle there.
Yeah. Now everybody talks about the core and what the core is and how the core has to be stabilized. So the core is actually almost like a cylinder. You actually got 2 of them. You got a small cylinder that kind of wraps around the spine itself. Then you have an outer cylinder, which you see your external obliques and stuff in there. And the whole idea, a lot of people with acute pain or even chronic low back pain, a lot of times it's because they've got a weakness in the core somewhere. So one thing you do is you can actually go out and see a physio or a chiro or a personal trainer, and there's a whole bunch of tests we can do to kind of test your core out to find out where that weakness is. I kind of like to describe it as a basketball post in the ground. And that if you put a basketball post in the ground and you only cement one side of it, when the wind comes, it can blow it towards the weak side. And so now you have a basketball post that's kind of tilted like this. So that's kind of the same thing with the core. If you have a weakness somewhere in your core, when you get stressed or you do something that you don't normally do, or you get tired, whatever it is, it's going to collapse towards the core. So that part of your muscle could go into spasm, you could strain it, whatever. So it's very important that we get the core muscle strong. So today we're talking about those front core muscles.
Yeah, so kind of diving deeper into the core muscles, you have your transverse abdominis, which is relatively involuntary. So before you even move, that's going to contract to stabilize your core to kind of prepare for movement. Once you start moving, that's when you have your voluntary muscles, so the rest of the ones on top are going to help you move. So the internal obliques that are angled like this, they help with a little bit of bending and rotation, so in that direction that the fibers are going. The external obliques, like I mentioned earlier, are opposite, so they also help with some bending and rotation, but in the opposite direction of the internal obliques. And then you have your rectus abdominis on the top, which helps with that forward bending, like the crunch movement that you will use to like get up and move. So that's what all of those muscles do to help your core move.
Yeah, and one of the biggest muscles that we always forget about is that transverse abdominis. It's really deep, it's right along the spine, and sometimes we forget about it because it's involuntary. We don't, and it's really hard to kind of get at. So people that people have had abdominal surgery or had C-section even after childbirth. Sometimes just from that trauma, that transverse abdominis will fall asleep, and then it doesn't really work as well as it should when we're trying to actually move. And people come in with chronic back pain, and a lot of times it's because of something happened a long time ago, and they've just never got their transverse abdominis to get working again. Because again, it's involuntary. We don't really think about it, so it's something that we need to work on. So today we're actually going to show you some simple exercises you can do to try and engage some of these abdominal core muscles. Again, you have to remember the core is all the way around. It's not just the front. We're just going to focus on the front today. All right, so the first exercise we're going to talk about is actually trying to engage that transverse abdominis. So it's the deep one that's kind of involuntary. So it's kind of hard to get at, but one thing we find we can get at is kind of blowing out the candle. So you're going to have your knees bent. You can put your hands on your abdomen because you want to feel it engaged. All you got to do is kind of blow out the candle, and you got to trying to push your belly button down into the table. So nice simple exercise. Try and do this 5 to 10 times. Nice simple breaths, take your time and get that done. And this is kind of help that transverse abdominis trying to wake up and try and help stabilize the core. The next one you're going to do is called the dead bug. Dead bug is you're going to have the legs up, arms up, and you're going to drop one arm and the opposite leg down. And this is going to help those oblique muscles on each side. So you go back and forth. And if you can do this, 5 to 10 times, hold it for 5 seconds, that's really good. And this again is going to help those oblique muscles. So the next one we want to do is we're going to do something called the
A bird dog.
So the next one we're going to do is called the bird dog. So we're going to flip over.
Am I going to cut that?
I think so.
Okay. Should we restart?
You want to go back again?
Yeah.
Because I want you to exercise again.
Okay, good. This is good for me.
All right. So after the bird dog, next one we're going to talk about is. Here we go again.
Yep.
So after the dead bug, we're going to flip over. We're going to do something called the bird dog. It's kind of opposite of the dead bug. So you're going to be on all fours with this one here. This one here, you're going to lift one arm up and the opposite leg up. So again, we're really working on these oblique muscles here to try and stabilize this. And with this one here, don't roll around. Try and keep this as straight as you can. And again, hold for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Do 5 to 10 of them. You know, do what you can. The whole idea is not to kill yourself back and forth, but again, try to keep this flat if you can. Back and forth, just like that. Yeah, perfect. So the next one we're going to do is a simple one. Everybody probably heard of it. It's called the plank. So the plank, just on your elbows. Whole idea is you're trying to keep this tabletop nice and flat. Some people hold a plank for 5 seconds. Other people hold for 5 minutes. I suggest trying to hold for 30 seconds to a minute is probably good enough. Again, if you can do that 3 to 5 times, that's great. The next one we're going to do is called the side plank. So we're on our side, and this one here, we're going to lift ourselves up. So we're going to have space in here. Again, try and keep this up on an angle of 5. What we don't want to do is you want to be rolling around like this. Try and get up and be stable. Again, try and hold that for anywhere between 30 seconds and a minute. If you can do it up to 5 times, that's really good too. Last one we do is a little more advanced. I call this the medicine ball. But all it is feet up, hands up off the table, and you're just going to kind of go from side to side. You see this on TV, people taking the medicine ball back and forth. You don't really need a medicine ball, but touching on each side. If you do 10 touches on each side, even up to 20 touches on each side, that's really good. I find this excellent exercise. It really makes my core burn, and you're really using those oblique muscles to twist and turn. So I hope you enjoy those exercises.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully that helps you understand what all the layers of your core muscles do, and hopefully the exercises help you strengthen them at home. So if you like this video, make sure to leave us a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any feedback for us. And as always at Goldsworthy Wellness, we got your back.